are moments in time that seem ordinary until heaven speaks. And when God marks a date, it's not just another square on a calendar. It's not business as usual. It's a shift in the atmosphere, a divine interruption. When God declares June 15, 2025 will change everything, he's not giving a suggestion. He's announcing a turning point in the spiritual timeline of your life. This isn't about superstition. This isn't about speculation. This is about revelation, and revelation demands response. When God speaks, it's not for entertainment, it's for alignment. And the question tonight is not, what will happen? The question is, will you be ready when it does? See, there are days you remember, and then there are days that redefine you. There are moments where nothing looks different on the outside, but everything changes on the inside. June 15, 2025. That ain't just a date, that's a doorway. That's not a routine moment. That's a recalibration of destinies. You don't need the world to agree when God has spoken. You don't need a sign in the sky when he's already written it in the spirit. This is the hour where faith must override familiarity, where expectation has to be louder than your excuses, and where your yes to God echoes louder than the doubts in your mind. Some of you have been in a holding pattern. You've been circling the same mountain for years, waiting, praying, crying out. But God is saying, get ready. June 15th is not coming to play games. I'm releasing what you've been waiting for, breaking what's been holding you, and planting what's going to sustain you. It's not a random date. It's a divine appointment. Some things won't survive past this day. Some chains will break on this day. Some old identities will fall off on this day. Some gifts you didn't know were inside you will wake up on this day. But let me tell you something. God doesn't announce a change to entertain your emotions. He speaks because it's time to prepare. You don't just stumble into a shift. You have to step into it with intention, obedience, and surrender. Don't wait for June 15th to get serious about God. Don't wait for the skies to open to adjust your posture. Get your house in order now. Clear the distractions now. Align your faith now. Because when the trumpet sounds, it's too late to start packing. When the oil starts flowing, it's too late to go looking for your jar. This is your warning and your invitation. You can dismiss it and miss it, or you can respond and be transformed by it. Because when God marks a moment, it's not about who sees you, it's about who hears him. You want breakthrough, it's coming. You want clarity, it's being released. You want purpose, direction, favor, healing, increase. It's all wrapped in that word. Everything changes. June 15th is not the finish line. It's the activation point. It's where the seeds you sowed in secret will sprout in public. Where the tears you cried in silence will be answered with joy. Where the things that didn't make sense will finally start coming together. But only for those who are in position. When God speaks a date, he's not giving you a heads up for no reason. He's not trying to stir hype or give you a motivational buzz. No, he's marking time on purpose. He's calling you into divine alignment. He's placing a banner on the battlefield of your life that says something is coming and you better be ready. You see, God doesn't waste time. He doesn't operate in confusion or randomness. When he declares June 15, 2025 will change everything. It means that something has been orchestrated in heaven, and it's headed your way like a divine train that can't be stopped. But here's here's the truth most people miss. That kind of move requires preparation, not reaction. Preparation. There's a difference. You don't prepare for something after it arrives. You prepare because you believe it's coming. And when God announces a shift in time, it's not just a prophecy. It's an instruction. It's not just to encourage you, it's to awaken you. Because only the prepared will walk into the full measure of what he's releasing. You see, Noah didn't build the ark after the rain came. He built it because God gave him a word. He didn't wait for clouds. He didn't wait for people to agree. He got to work even when it looked crazy, even when it made no sense. And when the rain finally came, it was the prepared man who floated while others drowned. Why? Because the word came before the flood, not during it. That's how God works. He gives you a date to prepare your destiny. He gives you a time so you can align your life. Now, let me ask you, what are you doing with the word you've been given? Are you treating it like a warning or just another sermon? Are you waiting for confirmation? Or are you moving like you already believe it? Because what separates the fruitful from the frustrated isn't how loud they shout when the word is spoken. It's how deeply they prepare when no one else is watching. God doesn't give divine appointments for passive people. He gives them to the faithful, the focused, the ones who know how to get low in the secret place, who clean house in the quiet seasons, who say, Lord, whatever it takes, make me ready. This is not about panic. It's about posture. It's about tuning your ear to the frequency of heaven and saying, if you're marking June 15, I'm not going to wait until June 14 to start praying. I'm not going to wait until the door swings open to start building character. I'm not going to wait until the breakthrough comes to start praising. I'm preparing now because I believe you. That's the posture that moves heaven. That's the posture that attracts favor. That's the posture that ensures you don't miss your moment. Listen, God doesn't shout out dates for drama. He marks them for destiny. He's not playing games with your time. He's not putting you on a spiritual scavenger hunt. He's saying, this is the moment I'm about to shift things. This is the day I've appointed in my sovereignty. But I won't force you into it. I'll invite you to be ready for it. That's why so many people hear a word but never walk in the promise, because they didn't treat the time between revelation and manifestation as holy ground. If God has told you June 15, 2025 will change everything, then every day before it matters. Every decision matters. Every compromise matters. Every act of obedience matters. You can't live sloppy Monday through Saturday and expect to receive Sunday's blessing. You can't wait until the calendar flips to start getting serious about your calling. Preparation proves belief. And if you really believe this date is divine, your life should already be shifting in response to it. So hear this with spiritual ears. This is not a countdown to chaos. It's a countdown to glory. It's a countdown to breakthrough, to healing, to release, to purpose, to answers that have been delayed but not denied. But it's not automatic. It's available. But it's not guaranteed. It's waiting for those who prepare like it's real. And if you do, if you take this word seriously, if you posture yourself properly, if you align your heart, your habits, your prayers, your praise, then when that day comes, you won't just witness the change. You'll become part of the change. You'll walk into what others only dreamed about. Because when God marks a moment in time, he's not just looking for attention. He's looking for vessels. Spiritual breakthroughs don't happen by accident. They don't show up in lives that are careless, casual, or coasting. You don't just wake up one day and find yourself walking in power, in clarity, in purpose, without ever having made the decision to chase after God. No, breakthrough doesn't come to the lazy. It doesn't come to the indifferent. It comes to those who step toward it on purpose. Those who move even when it's uncomfortable. Those who press even when the pressure is heavy. Those who say, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to touch the hem of his garment. You don't stumble into freedom. You walk into it by faith. You don't trip into anointing. You chase it. You seek it. You posture your heart in a way that says, God, I'm not going anywhere unless you bless me. I won't stop praying. I won't stop believing. I won't stop knocking until you answer. That's the kind of focus breakthrough demands. Not emotion, not hype, not shallow excitement that fades when the music stops. No, real breakthrough is born in persistence. It's fed by fire. It's carved out of midnight hours, wrestled in secret places, and watered with tears of faith. You think the Red Sea split by coincidence? You think walls fell at Jericho because people got lucky? No, these were steps of faith, intentional obedience, relentless trust, movements that made no sense to the flesh, but total sense to the spirit. God responds to movement. Not just any movement, but faith-driven movement. He honors the person who says, I don't need to see it to believe it. I don't need it to feel good to move. I'm stepping even if the next step looks like a cliff, because I know the one who called me. And hear me, faith with no focus is still distraction. You can shout all you want. You can post scriptures on your wall. But if your daily life doesn't reflect a focused pursuit, then you're just dancing in circles. Breakthrough requires aim. It requires sacrifice. It requires tuning out the noise so you can hear the whisper. It requires saying no to what's good so you can say yes to what's God. Some people miss their breakthrough because they're always looking for a shortcut. They want it quick. They want it easy. They want it without the pruning, without the fire, without the doing to self. But you cannot carry heaven's power with a flesh-driven life. You cannot walk in authority if you won't walk in surrender. Breakthrough costs something. It costs comfort. It costs time. It costs popularity. It costs ego. But what you gain is far greater than anything you lose. There are people who have heard about this word. June 15, 2025 will change everything. And they're hoping something happens to them. But breakthrough doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. It's not an outside in event. It's an inside out process. And the ones who step into it are the ones who understand this. God is not going to force you into your next level. He'll open the door, but you still have to walk through it. And to walk through it, you need focus. Not focus on your phone. Not focus on your followers. Not focus on what they're doing or saying or wearing or chasing. You need a holy tunnel vision that says, I don't have time to be distracted. I'm too close to destiny. I'm too near the shift. I've waited too long, fought too hard, and prayed too deep to let this pass me by. That's the mindset of someone who's ready. That's the heart posture of someone who's about to step into what they've never seen before. Because this kind of breakthrough, the kind that changes everything, It's not for the tourists in the spirit. It's for the dwellers, the seekers, the ones who stay in the secret place when everyone else walks away. It's for those who are locked in, those who are focused, those who have decided, no matter what it costs, I will not miss what God is about to do. So if you want to walk in breakthrough, you better make up your mind. No more drifting. No more spiritual laziness. No more waiting for lightning to strike while your soul sleeps. Breakthrough starts with a step. A faith-filled, focused, unshakable step toward the God who already made the first move toward you. You're not waiting on him. He's waiting on you. And when he sees you move with faith, when he sees you fight to stay focused, when he sees you posture your life in alignment with his voice, that's when heaven opens. That's when chains fall. That's when destiny is unlocked, not by chance, not by coincidence, but because you stepped into it on purpose. There are dates that the world circles with red ink, holidays, celebrations, endings, and beginnings. But then there are dates heaven marks, not for the crowd, but for the called, not for calendars, but for covenants. When God declares that June 15, 2025 will change everything, he's not talking about a casual event. He's not pointing to a coincidence. He's opening something eternal. This date is not just a line between yesterday and tomorrow. It is a doorway, a spiritual threshold where destiny meets obedience, where what was delayed is delivered, and where what was hidden is suddenly revealed. You've got to understand, God doesn't traffic in random. Every date he touches, he transforms. Every moment he anoints, he magnifies. And if he's marked June 15, 2025 as a day that will shift everything, you can't treat it like any other. This is not just a clock striking midnight. This is a divine interruption, a holy shift in the heavens, a spiritual alarm that will sound so loud, those tuned into the spirit will feel it before they see it. But don't get this twisted. The doorway doesn't open for the passive. This is not for the curious or the lukewarm. This isn't about those who just want God to sprinkle favor on their plans. No, this is for the ready, for the surrendered, for the people who say, I don't want another year of circles. I want breakthrough. I want purpose. I want everything he's assigned to my life, and I'm ready to walk through whatever door I've got to walk through to get it. Destiny doesn't drift to you. You walk into it. You press toward it. You pass through fire to reach it. And a spiritual doorway like this, it tests who's really listening. You can't just shout about June 15. You've got to prepare for it. You've got to posture your soul for it. Because when the door opens, it doesn't stay open forever. You have to move when God moves. Now watch this. A doorway is a decision point. You either walk through it or you stay behind it. But what you cannot do is pretend it's not there. God will open it, but he will not drag you through it. That's why this moment is so critical. Because what stands on the other side of that door is not just blessing. It's identity. It's authority. It's clarity. It's the you that's been buried under doubt, fear, trauma, delay. It's the version of you that's been waiting to breathe. And God is saying, on June 15, I'm opening the door. But you've got to have the faith to step out of who you were and into who I've called you to be. Some of you have been standing at the threshold for years. You've heard the promises. You've felt the pull, but you've hesitated. You've let fear hold you back. You've let what they said about you stop you. But no more. This is the time. This is the doorway. Heaven is calling. And when heaven calls, hell can't stop you, but your hesitation can. It's time to cross over. Time to stop peeking through the door and start walking through it. You've been praying for this. You've been fasting for this. You've been crying for this. You've been battling in silence, waiting for the sign. This is the sign. This is the moment where faith meets fulfillment. This is the moment where prophecy becomes reality, but only if you walk through the door. God's not interested in putting on a show. He's interested in raising up people who are ready to carry glory, to carry truth, to carry healing. He's interested in people who don't just want the platform. They want the posture. They don't just want the light. They want the lampstand. And June 15 is not about visibility. It's about access. Access to rooms you didn't qualify for. Access to assignments you thought were lost. Access to an anointing that only comes on the other side of obedience. This isn't just about what happens to you. It's about what gets unlocked in you. When you step through that doorway, things start breaking off. Shame falls. Guilt lifts, confusion clears. You begin to speak differently, think differently, pray differently. You start carrying weight, kingdom weight, because the doorway doesn't just lead to another room, it leads to your next level. So no, June 15, 2025 is not just a date. It's not just another sunrise. It is a holy invitation, a spiritual call to movement. A divine opportunity to cross into the fulfillment of every word he's ever spoken over your life. Don't miss the door while looking for a sign. Don't miss the moment while waiting for a feeling. The door is opening. The Spirit is speaking. And your destiny is standing on the other side, waiting for you to walk through. There are moments in your life when it feels like everything is on hold. Prayers unanswered, doors unopened, dreams unfulfilled. You've walked with faith, but the promises still feel far. You've cried in secret, prayed in private, worshiped in pain, and still silence, still delay. But let me tell you something powerful that heaven needs your heart to hear tonight. Delay is not denial. It's not rejection. It's not abandonment. It's not divine forgetfulness. Delay is alignment. Delay is preparation. Delay is the grace of God keeping you hidden while he shapes you for what's coming. You see, the enemy wants you to think the delay is punishment. He wants you to believe that because it didn't happen yet, it'll never happen at all. But the devil is a liar. What God has spoken over your life still stands. The timeline might have shifted, but the promise hasn't changed. When God delays a thing, it's because he's working all things together for a specific time, a specific door, a specific season where everything aligns not just for your blessing, but for his glory. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in the Bible came after a season of delay. Joseph had a dream, and then he was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, locked in a prison. But none of that was denial. It was development. It was preparation. If God had released him too soon, Joseph wouldn't have been ready to manage Egypt. The dream wasn't denied. It was aligned. It came to pass when the time was right, when God had positioned all the pieces, even the ones Joseph didn't understand. So if you feel like you've been waiting too long, if it seems like your breakthrough is overdue, don't give up. Don't let the delay define your faith, because what feels late to you is on time in heaven. The clock of man does not control the calendar of God. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're being aligned. aligned with people you haven't met yet, aligned with doors that haven't opened yet, aligned with a version of yourself you haven't fully become yet. And June 15, 2025, that appointed day, is not an accident. It's not hype. It's not wishful thinking. It's a divine setup. And every second of delay you've experienced before it is part of the setup. Let's be real. Some delays in our lives were mercy in disguise. If God had answered you too early, you would have mishandled the blessing. You would have wasted the opportunity. You would have let ego drive what only surrender can carry. But God loved you too much to let you walk into a destiny you weren't ready for. So he covered you. He slowed it down. He gave you space to mature, to grow, to heal, to listen. Because destiny isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become while you wait. The delay shaped your voice. It forged your spirit. It cut off the false relationships. It exposed the idols. It made you desperate, and that desperation gave birth to fire. You're not coming into June 15 as the same person who started this journey. No, you're stronger now, wiser, hungrier. And that's why the delay had to happen. Because the version of you that's crossing into this moment is the version God has been building all along. Don't curse the delay. Thank God for it, because now when the door opens, you'll value it. You'll walk in humility. You'll carry the blessing without letting it carry you. You'll serve instead of striving. You'll protect what he gives instead of playing with it. You'll move with reverence, not just ambition. See, what's coming on June 15 isn't random. It's release. It's fulfillment. It's the collision of every obedient. Yes, you've whispered in the dark, but it's only now, only at this exact moment, that you're ready to receive it. So what felt like delay was actually divine timing, heaven's perfect strategy, a God-orchestrated process that positioned you for a suddenly. And when that suddenly hits, when what you've been praying for shows up in front of you, you'll realize it didn't come late. It came right on time. So lift your head, strengthen your heart. Don't look at your past and say, it took too long. Look at your God and say, you were preparing me the whole time. Delay is not denial. It's alignment. It's precision. It's mercy. And it's almost over, because the appointed time is near. And when it comes, you'll understand why you had to wait. There are moments in life when change comes in small steps, quiet, subtle, almost unnoticeable. But there are also moments, rare, divine moments, when change comes like a wind, like a wave, like fire from heaven, and nothing looks the same again. That's the kind of moment June 15, 2025 is shaping up to be. Not cosmetic change, not surface level improvement, not behavior modification. No, this is full-blown, inside-out, soul deep transformation. The kind that makes you look in the mirror and say, who is this person? The kind that doesn't just upgrade your life, it resurrects your identity. Because when God gets ready to shift a person, he doesn't just change their circumstances. He changes them. He rewires their thinking. He reconditions their heart. He strips off the labels the world tried to glue on them. He heals what they thought they'd always have to live with. He speaks a word so powerful that even the broken parts of them start standing upright. And when he does that kind of work in you, you don't walk the same. You don't talk the same. You don't pray the same. You don't even move through rooms the same, because when heaven touches you, everything changes. That's the power of transformation. It's not about pretending to be better. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. The version of you that fear kept hidden. The version of you that trauma tried to silence. The version of you that religion couldn't reach and culture couldn't define. Transformation is when God says, I'm not just blessing you, I'm restoring you. I'm not just answering your prayer. I'm reintroducing you to yourself. And hear me, you're about to be unrecognizable. Not because you're faking it, but because you finally awakened to what's been inside you all along. You thought you were waiting on a miracle, but the miracle is you. The miracle is the woman who refused to give up, the man who kept fighting in silence, the soul that kept praising even with tears running down their face. You've been in the fire, but the fire was never to kill you. It was to forge you. It was to burn off the lies, melt down the fear, purify the call. And now, on the edge of this divine appointment, the real you is rising. You won't recognize yourself after this. The weight of depression that tried to sit on your chest, gone. The anxiety that told you you were never enough, silenced. The habits that tried to chain you to your past, broken. You'll wake up with a new mind, a new mission, a new momentum. People around you will say, what happened to you? And you'll smile because they won't understand that it wasn't a book, a podcast, a coach, or a trend. It was God. It was a moment ordained by heaven. It was a holy collision between divine timing and your surrendered heart. This is more than self-improvement. This is divine reconstruction. God isn't just tweaking your behavior. He's rewriting your destiny. The old you that settled for less, that feared rejection, that apologized for shining too bright, that you is gone, crucified with the seasons you survived, buried with the burdens you carried. What's rising now is the overcomer, the kingdom carrier, the warrior, the builder, the prophetic voice, the worshiper, the pioneer, the unshakable believer who knows who they are and whose they are. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. This is why hell tried to wear you out before you got here. Because the devil always attacks hardest right before transformation. He wanted you to break before you broke through. He wanted you to believe the delay meant denial, but you held on. You kept standing. And now, transformation is your inheritance. When God finishes what he's about to do in you, you won't even have the same language. You won't beg for what you used to cry over. You won't chase what used to distract you. You won't fear what used to intimidate you, because your eyes will be open, your spirit awakened, and your posture aligned with heaven. You're not going back to who you used to be. That person was necessary for the process, but they're not equipped for the promise. Transformation is not a suggestion. It's the guarantee of every child of God who surrenders. And on June 15, 2025, you're not just crossing into a new season. You're crossing into a new identity. The version of you that walks through this door won't be the same one who waited for it. You'll be different. You'll be radiant. You'll be free. Because when heaven touches a life, it never leaves it the same. Let me bring this home. Everything you've heard tonight wasn't hype. It wasn't emotion. It was a warning, a signal, and a call. You didn't just stumble into this moment. You were summoned. Heaven arranged this hour. And now, whether you realize it or not, you are standing on the edge of something so big, so supernatural, so earth-shaking, that when you look back on it, years from now, you'll say, That was the day it all changed, because June 15, 2025 is not just a day on a calendar. It is a spiritual shift. It's an opening in the heavenlies. It's an appointment between your purpose and God's promise. It's the day the delay ends, the day the door opens, the day the page turns. And the question echoing in the atmosphere is this: are you ready? Now is not the time to sit back. Now is not the time to scroll past, to tune out, to shrug it off and say, we'll see. No, now is the time to decide, to stand up on the inside, to say with boldness and trembling, Lord, if this is my moment, I will not miss it. If this is the door, I will walk through it. If this is the fire, I will endure it. If this is the shift, I'll align with it. Because make no mistake, God is not asking for your comfort. He's asking for your yes. You see, destiny doesn't wait for your feelings to catch up. It doesn't consult your schedule. It doesn't apologize for being inconvenient. Destiny demands a response. And if June 15 is the day that heaven opens, then what you do before and what you do after will mark you for the rest of your life. This is not a prophecy to entertain, it's a moment to enter. For some of you, this is the moment where the chains break. For others, it's the moment your purpose finally catches fire. For some, it's the moment your household shifts. The moment you say, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." For others, it's the moment you walk out of guilt, out of shame, out of everything that's been hanging over you, and you step into your calling unapologetic, fearless, focused. It's not going to look like what you thought. It's not going to happen how you imagined, but it will happen. Because when God speaks, his word does not return void. When God marks a day, time bows, nature aligns, heaven moves, hell trembles. Because one word from God carries more power than 1,000 sermons, 1,000 strategies, 1,000 steps. And that word has gone out. It has been released. June 15, 2025. A divine appointment, a kingdom collision, a holy interruption. The only thing left now is your response. Will you be found watching or sleeping? Will you be found ready or resistant? Will you be found believing or doubting? You can't wait for the door to open to start preparing. You have to posture yourself before it arrives. That means prayer. That means repentance. That means surrender. That means aligning your life, your heart, your spirit with what heaven is doing. Because transformation doesn't come by chance. It comes by decision. And when the wind of God starts to blow on that day, those who are aligned will catch it. Those who are positioned will rise with it. And those who refuse to prepare will be left wondering what could have been. Don't let that be your story. God's about to do something that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, minds have not conceived. But it's not for the casual believer. It's not for the one who lives on yesterday's fire. It's for the surrendered. It's for the bold. It's for the hungry. It's for those who say, God, whatever you want, I'm available. Because after June 15, everything changes. And no, you won't go back to who you were. You won't return to what you came from. You won't be able to fit in rooms you used to sit in. You won't be able to speak small, think small, or live small. Because God is not just shifting the season. He's shifting you. So now, the mantle is in your hands. The trumpet has sounded. The date is set. What will you do with it? Heaven is watching. The earth is groaning. The Spirit is moving. And everything is about to change.